British royal family is overwhelmed, and the reason is neither more nor less than a strong couple crisis. As I say, this journalist, Gloria Campos, expert precisely in protocol and political communication, has appeared on the program Why Ahura Sun Souls this afternoon. Among the things she has said, she has hinted that divorce by Kate Middleton and Prince William would be on the table. Exactly what he said, because it has generated a lot of commotion, is that when he sees the image of Prince William reminds him of Charles of England, referring precisely to that past relationship with the sadly deceased Lady Di. As we see, the situation is truly tremendous, and we will clarify all this and much more, as I say, in this video. If you like it and if you want to support us, I never say never, give us a like, because this is surely the most interesting video about the British royal family and about Kate Middleton's state of health. Let's get straight to the point, and according to this journalist, the reason why, quote-unquote, the divorce is not made public and perhaps does not come to materialize is because the Princess of Wales is in a glass cage. She mentioned it at one point in the interview and then clarified the following. She says, the reality is that they have to be kings of England, and that's why there is this crisis, because you cannot tell what is really happening. There is a divorce going on, the presenter commented, cutting her off, wanting to pull her tongue out. She said there has also been a divorce, and at that moment, Gloria Campos, knowing that what she was going to say could end up in a lawsuit in jail and end up being charged, clarified the following. She said, between the lines and between the letters, I think that I have said what has to be said. I think that I have said what has to be said. She said, I have said what has to be said. They are the future kings. Let's see what happens. Speaking between the lines, they are going to have to solve many problems, because if not the monarchy, textual words, he says, this lady is going to hell, and I think I have said clearly and forcefully what you are all imagining. Behind all this there is a crisis, to which again the presenter, wanting to point out what her guest was suggesting, there is a marital crisis, added, I say from my point of view. I clarified because I knew she was getting into a mess, so that I would not be sued. But yes, I said that I had contrasted absolutely everything, and that is how it is in this case, in the case of the monarchy. At that moment, logically, a colleague on the set said to her, but what you are saying is a world exclusive. You are saying that there is a crisis and that they are trying to cover it up, and she said, do not put in my mouth what you just said, but the truth is that what you just said is very close to what is happening. It is a smokescreen what they are doing from my point of view, and with my sources I say so. Then they wanted to get into the subject. Well, let's point out that what this gentleman is saying is tremendous. He is pointing out that Kate Middleton's real problem that has caused her to be retired for 2 months is not exactly her illness, but this, I insist, strong sentimental crisis with Prince William, who seemed that he was going to be the king from one moment to the next, and who finds himself with this serious difficulty, a king who has no queen, a king who has no consort, a king who could be going through the last hours of his marriage with respect to the Princess of Wales, to Kate Middleton, but the thing does not end, and because logically many want to know what has happened to the Princess of Wales and why she has been missing for so long, and especially because she continues to convalesce, and especially because in her last photograph, in which we see that William Vaganato Kate Middleton is left doing other things, what exactly is going on, all this is again clarified to us by this lady, saying that indeed the disease is not of mental type, as has been said. It is not a mental health issue. It is not an eating disorder issue, but what Kate Middleton suffers is something that hurts a lot, that happens to many people, she says, and that has a long period of convalescence. So much so that she even clarifies the disease, giving details for me truly irrelevant, as Kate Middleton would need a bag to do her physical needs, her basic needs. Logically, I have tried to Google a little, I have tried to find what she was referring to, and I have found this disease. I am not saying that this is what this lady is saying, but it fits quite well. It is a transverse colostomy. It is precisely a thing that a bag is put to collect the feces. To that point, they say we would be, come on. To that point, perhaps the Princess of Wales would have reached and perhaps for that reason she does not want her true state of health to be known. But exactly what this lady was saying was that it is an abdominal ailment that suffers many people, that it is a terrible ailment that also makes you stand up and that requires a long recovery time. She was asked if it is diverticulitis, if it is chronic, and she clarified, no, I am not going to say what it is because I cannot say, because I can be denounced, and because in this country revealing a disease that the person does not want to be known is a crime. But I do clarify that Kate Middleton will probably need a bag to make her basic needs before what her partner on the set, Paloma Garcia-Pella, I clarified that it is a disease that will limit Kate Middleton a lot, and that even more will also alter her chronic way of eating. It is truly tremendous what they are saying, but what they were going to finish off by saying at the end is truly tremendous. And that is that they say that with all this they are covering up the situation of Carlos, because with Kate Middleton what they are taking advantage of is to make a smokescreen with respect to a health that, according to what this journalist pointed out once again, Paloma Garcia-Pella, myself on this occasion, and also Gloria Campos, what is happening is that the situation of Charles is much more serious than what had been pointed out at the beginning. Perhaps they are referring to the information that the United States has been saying for weeks and months, that Charles of England has 6 months to live, and a front page was even published saying that Charles' cancer was the worst of all. The truth is that the information is truly tremendous. It is truly tremendous what they are telling us, because they are directly confirming, or at least they are letting us glimpse it, because logically they are covering their backs, that between Kate Middleton and Prince William there is a deep crisis. In fact, this journalist, when she sees the image, wants to emphasize that she is seeing not William but Charles, not because of their physical resemblance, because it is not too evident, but because of that resemblance of treating their first relationships we could carry out and their first women. We all know what the current role of Queen Camilla is, and we all know that Kate Middleton has sometimes received certain comments in that sense. We will see how things evolve, but as we can see, the photographs of Kate Middleton, who was supposedly a double like her sister Pippa Middleton, are practically nothing with the information that, I insist, this journalist has just given in this television program, uncovering that the problem is really tremendous for England. They are living a crisis in all senses, and not only in health. They are also living a crisis at the level of succession, crisis at the succession level. They are called to the throne, and they are supposedly with a William who does not know if his wife is going to accompany her on the day of the coronation, and this logically draws a truly frightening scenario in England. And as the colleagues and the presenter of this space commented to her, are you saying that there is going to be a divorce? Are you saying that they are going to separate? Are you saying that there is really a crisis? Well, that is the way things are going, because this journalist, I insist, what she is saying is that there is something, and we are going to see how they manage it. They are the future kings. Let's see what happens, because of course if they decide to step aside, or rather if Kate Middleton decides to step aside, the monarchy, in her own words, goes to hell, and as we see, tremendous last hour, very delicate. I listened to the comments. I know that these theories had occupied spaces within the social networks, but never a journalist, and less in a television program, and less in Spain, in my country, had dared to go so far, had dared, as we have to mention, or rather to insinuate, that behind the great problem of Kate Middleton is not health, which is also a delicate issue, but the real problem is a marriage problem, a couple problem, and the best summary, they say, we see it in that photograph that was supposedly taken yesterday morning, that photograph in which William was going to one side and Kate Middleton was going to the other. In fact, a journalist of this program, Paloma Garcia-Pella, confirms that this photograph was taken yesterday, and that William was looking at his phone. That is the reason why William has his eyes down, but for me it is very representative and very significant that evasive look to the outside and to the other side by the Princess of Wales. This photo really is the prelude to the crisis of the end of the marriage. Divorce, We will be very attentive, but what this lady has said will surely bring serious and severe consequences in the United Kingdom. In the British Isles, where surely this news will have fallen, or will fall like a real bus.